which you have not well versed with, but looking at the question, you will get the familiarity with respect to understanding what the question is about and how and what we should do to solve the question. I hope all of you can see the presentation, right, which has been opened up. People out here, can you all see the presentation which has been opened up? Can I get a quick response? Okay, amazing. Perfect. So the objective is simple. So questions would be on number system only, but we'll see what level of question is it actually up to. I repeat, the pattern keeps on changing. You will say the topics keeps on changing, but the fundamental linkage between each chapter and every chapter will also be the same. It does not usually change. It does not usually change, provided you have done your basics really well. Very well, you'll be able to solve the questions which we are covering up today. Okay. So today the objective is we'll see some of the most important and the prominent pattern-based questions. I repeat, we'll see some of the most important and prominent pattern-based questions which repeatedly comes in your management examination. We'll see the familiarity and the objective of how the given content of today's session is going to be relevant. Is going to be relevant with respect to your management examination, and we'll see the content which are usually on the advanced level, how this can be useful for you to solve any kind of question which comes not just in number system but to any chapter. Let's say your uh, in algebra you've got number system plus your modern math, everything you will be able to solve this question provided these concepts are really well done. Now in today's session, we'll see content across the given dimensions, numbers or patterns which are based on sigma n or sigma of sigma n. Sigma n is something which you have done. I'll show you questions which are based on sigma of sigma n. These sigma of sigma n numbers are called as triangular numbers, which we'll be discussing in detail. Second variety of question will be on the basis of number to numbers, where the questions and the options both will be typically in the form of numbers, and we have to predict which answer could be one of those. Next is difference of square. Next is in how many ways a given number can be represented as the sum of n consecutive numbers. And last, we'll also see questions which are based on division of series. But to start off with, we'll see something which is on a very basic level. Let's start with something on the level of sigma n. Okay. I hope people out here, can you all see the screen? People out here, can you all see the screen? Yes or no? You are unable to see the screen. Okay. Can you all see the screen now? You all can see, I hope you all can see sigma n, right? You all can see sigma n or triangular numbers, right? Okay. Perfect. That's what the objective is. So today's session will see the 5 important concepts that we have discussed on the first slide. We'll take it side by side and concept by concept. But here, the very first concept and the content that we'll touch upon is basically on sigma n. All of us know what sigma n is. Sigma n is sum of first and natural numbers. And I'm sure all of you would also have memorized or have will be ready with the formula for finding the value of sigma n, right? Who out here would be helping me out to find the value of sigma n? What is the formula of sigma n? Sum of first and natural numbers. Sum of first and natural numbers, which starts with 1, goes till n. Uh, Basically will be given by a formula which is nothing but n into n plus 1 divided by 2, and the value of sigma n square, which is the first n natural number square. First n natural number squares will be given by n plus 1, 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Like this, there's so many formulas which has been marked up by you guys when you were there in school. The objective is we'll have to see something beyond that. Okay. Before I touch upon the triangular numbers, who's going to help me out with the sum of first n even numbers formula? Sum of first even numbers. Sum of first n even numbers. If you have to generalize the formula,
n plus 1, n into n.
perfect. Perfect. So the first even number is 2, and the sum is also 2. Sum of first two even numbers is 6. Sum of first three even numbers will be 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is 12. So 1 is becoming 2, 2 is becoming 6, and 3 is becoming 12. The logic is simple. So n will become n plus 1. So sum of first n even numbers, the sum will be given in the form of n into n plus 1. And the average of first n even numbers will be given by a simple term which is n plus 1. What about first n odd numbers? What is
N
first
square.
n squared? Okay, the first odd number is 1. I repeat, the first odd number is 1 and the sum is 1. The sum of first two odd numbers is 1 plus 3, 4. The sum of first three odd numbers is 1 plus 3 plus 5, which is 9. So 1 is becoming 1, 2 is becoming 4, 3 is becoming 9. So n will become n squared. Okay. So sum of first n, or let's say if n is 10, first 10 natural numbers square will be nothing but 10 square, which is equal to 100. Like this, so and so forth. These are basic concepts which you have done till now. Let's start with something on the level of the first concept, which is triangular numbers. What are triangular numbers? Let's say if you keep on adding a page number of a book. If you keep on adding the page number of a book starting with the first page number 1, if you're adding only the first number, it's only 1. If you add the first two pages, it's going to be 1 plus 2, which is 3. If you add the first three numbers, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3. And if you add the first 4 pages, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Such numbers which are nothing but where the term value, I repeat, where the term value becomes sigma n. The term value of a triangular number series, which is of sigma n, where the term value is the sigma n value of that particular number. The first number is 1. The sum of first two numbers, which is 3, becomes the second term of the triangular number series. 1 plus 2 plus 3 will become 6, which is the sum of first three natural numbers, will become the third term of the triangular numbers. Such numbers will be called as sigma of sigma n, or such numbers will also be called as triangular numbers. Such numbers will also be called as triangular numbers. Okay? I hope all of you got to know the format of the given numbers. So whenever you come across with the given numbers, let's say 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 27, 21, and then 28, like this. Whenever you come up with numbers like this, a series like this, all of you would know, just like a natural number series, which is 1 to n, just like a first n natural number square series, if you come across with terms of numbers like 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 28, like this, so and so forth, this number or this series is nothing but sigma of sigma n. This number or series is nothing but sigma of sigma n. And there are dozens of questions which usually comes, I repeat, there are dozens of questions which comes here on the basis of your CAT examination, which are purely on the basis of random number. Let's read the first question and let's see if we have the appetite of understanding the question. We'll see how to solve the question later. Okay. The first question which you can see on the screen is CAT 2011 question. This is the actual CAT question, and there are dozens of questions which comes on this pattern. The first question which you can see is all the page numbers of a book. I repeat, all the page numbers of a book are added beginning with 1. I repeat, all the page numbers of the book are added beginning with 1. However, one of the page number has been added twice. One of the page number has been added twice by mistake. The sum that has been obtained was 1000. The sum that has been obtained was 1000. The question is which page number was added twice. I'll give you 30-40 seconds to comprehend what the question is, and then we'll have a discussion. The only hint which I can give you is the question is based on the same format, which is basically on triangular numbers. Okay, anyone who's going to take a lead in solving this question? So these are technical questions which usually comes here on a year. The pattern is same. Someone is adding some page numbers. While adding, one time you missed adding one page number. Second time you added one more time the second page number. The pattern could be either you miss on a particular number, or you add one more time the same page number. The sum which is going to be given to you will be given to you in the sum, but it has been told to you that either the page number has been added twice, or either the page has been not been added. The question is we have to specifically find out which page number has been added twice or which page number has not been added. Being the first question, let's me take a lead to solve the question, and you guys will be with me together. We'll be able to solve the question. Let's see. The question says all the page numbers of a book has been added. If the book, so let's say if the book has one page, the only number that you will add is 1. If the book has 2 pages, the number which you will add is 1 plus 2, 3. If the book has 3 pages, you will add the first 3 numbers. Like this, you're adding the first n pages of the book. So either you can consider it to be as a sigma n series, or you can consider it to be as a sigma of sigma n series, where the sigma n number will become the term value of sigma n. While adding all the pages, you got the sum to be as 1000. While adding all the pages, you got the sum to be as 1000. Okay, but 1000 will not be a series. 1000 will not be a term value of sigma n. Why? Because 1000 has come by adding a page twice. By adding a page twice. So given page, let's say 12, has been added twice to got the value as 1000. So 1000 will not be a value of sigma n. 1000 will not be a value of sigma n. But let's assume if 1000 is a value of sigma n, so the term value of sigma n will be given by n into n plus 1 divided by 2. And ideally, if this was a term value, n into n plus 1 divided by 2 would be equal to 1000. But however, it is not the case. However, it is not the case. We are approximately closing the value close to 1000. So I'm saying n into n plus 1 by 2 is approximately close to 1000. So what is n into n plus 1? It's going to be close to 2000. It's going to be close to how much? 2000. Now n squared plus n is close to 2000. I repeat, n squared plus n will be close to how much? 2000. The only hint which you can take from here is the value of n is very much negligible in comparison with n squared. The value of n is very much negligible in comparison with n squared. So tell me the nearest perfect square close to 2000. My first question to you is, tell me the nearest perfect square. Tell me the nearest perfect square. Take a second more. Tell me the nearest perfect square close to 2000. Okay, some of you are saying 44, some of you are saying 45, which is going to be closer. Tell me which is going to be closer. So 45 square is going to be 2025. 45 square is going to be 2025, which is going to be closer than 44 square. So the nearest perfect square which you can take to be is 45 square, and consider the value of n to be as 45. But I cannot consider and assume the value of n to be as 45 given the first n pages of the book. Why? Because one page has been added twice. Listen to me clearly. One page number has been added twice, then you got 1000. However, n square plus n gave you as 2000. We neglected the value of n. So you take a value of n which is 1 less than the actual value of n which you have got. So you take a value which is preceded by 45. So before 45, the next value which will come before that will be 44. Now take the value of n to be for 44. If there are 44 pages in the book, I repeat, if there are 44 pages in the book, I will not consider it to be 45 because n square plus n gave to me as 2000, and I'm approximately closing the value to be as on 1000, which is after adding a page number twice, given page number twice. So take a value which is 1 less than that, which is 44. Now take the value of n to be as 44. I repeat, take the value of n to be as 44. If the value of n is 44, what is the sum of all the page numbers? It's going to be 44 into 45 divided by 2. What is the value of 44 into 45 divided by 2? This is going to be 22 into 45. What is 22 into 45? 45 into 2 is 90, and 990 is the answer. So ideally, if there were 44 pages in the book, the sum would have been 990. You got the sum. You got the sum as 1000. So the difference between the values, will be the page number which has been added twice. So among all the options, I repeat, among all the options, you will mark option number E, which is 10 to be the value which has been added twice. Is this clear? Is this clear? All of you, I want all of you to comprehend what we have done. Is there any question or confusion or concern? Anyone? Any question or concern? I hope all of you are doing well in this question. Perfect. So I'm giving you the second question. I'm giving you a second question which is based on the same lines. I repeat. I'm giving you a second question which is based on the same lines. And I want all of you to take lead in solving this question. And I want all of you to take lead in solving this question. All of you can see the question here? Can all of you see the question here? Come on, if you can see the question, perfect. Now this is on the same lines. The given question is on the same lines. So all of you, take a lead and solve in the similar way. The given question which you can see on the screen is exactly similar. The only concern that we have got here is, if you read the question says a child was asked to add a few natural numbers 1 to n so long as his patience permitted. As he stopped, he gave the sum to be as 575. When the teacher declared the result wrong, the child observed that he missed on adding one number of the sequence. The previous question was double counting. The previous question was on double counting. This question is, you miss on adding one number. And the question is, which number did you miss on? The question is, which number did you miss on? Yes, I want all of you to take a lead in this question. The pattern is exactly same. So let me give you a very clear hint. Which in 3 steps you will get the answer. So basically the first step is n into n plus 1 divided by 2. You're approximating it with 575. So the first step is not n into n plus 1 divided by 2. The first step itself is double the value. What is 575 into 2? What is 575 into 2? It's 1150. It is 1150. Now tell me the nearest perfect square to 1150. Tell me the nearest perfect square. It's 34. That's how much? It is 34. You are saying it is going to be how much? It is 34. So you are assuming at the n, the value of n to be close to around 34. If n becomes 34, the value of first n natural numbers starting from 1 to 34 will become 34 into 35 divided by 2. I repeat, this is going to become how much? 34 into 35 divided by 2. What is 34 by 2? 34 by 2 is going to be 17. What is 35 into 17? What is 35 into 17? Everyone out here, what is 35 into 17? In 3 steps, you will get the answer. The first step is double the value. The second step is find the nearest perfect square. Get the value of n. If you have the value of n, then you find the value of sigma n. It's 595, which means ideally the term value of sigma n, or the sum of sigma n is ideally how much? Is ideally 595. Ideally is 595. Ideally is 595. You got the value to be as 595. So 595 should be the value of sigma n, but the value which you got was 575. So which value did you miss on? Which value? I repeat, which value did you miss on? You miss on the value which was 20. Among the four options, which you will, what will you mark? You will mark the value which is more than 15. You will mark the value to be as more than 15. You will mark the value to be as more than 15, and hence the answer is going to be 20. Among all the options, is this clear? So the only difference between the previous question and this question is, if there's a case of double counting, you will take the value of n to be 1 less. I repeat, if there's double counting, you will take the value of n to be as 1 less. If there's no double counting, then you will take the value of n as what you've got the closest value of n square and find out the value of n. From n, again, you will take the value of sigma n and take out the difference. Is this clear to all of you? Everyone, is this clear to all of you? Perfect. The next question is purely a pattern-based question. So I'm not saying this is going to be again on the basis of sigma n. I want you to take a lead in this question, and I'll give you a minute to comprehend what the question is. This is the most peculiar question which has come, and they are again pattern-based question which comes on the same level. So come on, people out here who are live, take a lead in solving this question. Prathamesh got the answer as 781. Others, can you solve the question together? It is a very fundamental question. It's not a very challenging question. If you read the question, that says the integer values of 1 to 40 are written on the whiteboard or the blackboard. The following operation has been repeated. The following operation has been repeated 39 times. 39 times. In each of the repetition, two specific numbers, say A and B, are which is currently on the blackboard, are erased, and the new number is erased, and the new number, which is A plus B minus 1, which is A plus B minus 1, is written. What will be the number left on the board in the end? What will be the one number that will be left in the end on the board? So they are saying 1 to 40 has been written, two specific number has been taken out, and is replaced by a single number. Two numbers were A and B, and the replacement is A plus B minus 1. And the question is, obviously, whenever you are taking two numbers and replacing by a single number, you will carry it forward for 39 times. After 39 times, you basically will have, only and only one value which is going to remain in the end. But instead of taking values from 1 to 40, let's take a small set, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Instead of taking A and B and replacing it with A plus B minus 1, let's replace A and B with A plus B. Let's see if you find some magical logic there. I'm saying you're replacing A and B with A plus B. If I take any of the number, 1 plus 5, if I take initially, this will become 6, 2, 3, 4. Now if I take 6 and 2, will become 8, 3, 4. Now if I take 8 and 4, will become 12 and 3, and 12 and 3 will become 15. Next time, if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if I interchange the value, 2 and 5, 7, 1, 3, and 4. 7 plus 3, 10, 4, 1. 10 plus 1, 11, 4 will become 11 plus 1, 11 plus 4 will become 15. 11 plus 4 will become 15. What logic can you send? So ideally, it's nothing but you are replacing a and b versus a plus b, which is as same as finding the sum of first and natural numbers, which is as same as finding the sum of first and natural number. Whatever you want to add, whether you want to add 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 3 or 3 and 5, whatever you want to add, howsoever you want to add, you will add the given numbers. You will add only the given numbers to find the overall sum. Whatever you add, howsoever you add, the value will remain the same. The only change which you are doing in the actual sum is instead of a plus b, you are replacing a plus b minus 1. How many times you're doing this? So whenever you add a plus b 39 times, it is nothing else. It is the sum of first 40 natural numbers. It is sum of first 40 natural numbers. But at each step, you're removing minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. How many times you're removing minus 1? You're removing minus 1 39 times. So ideally, the last number which will remain in the end will be the sum of first 40 natural numbers minus 39. I hope we got the logic. I hope we cracked the logic. And it's simple, easy for us to comprehend what the question is about. Is this clear? So sum of first 40 natural numbers will become how much? 820 minus 39. What is 820 minus 39? The value will become 781. Is this understood to all of you? Is this understood to all of you? Everyone out here? Open question to all of you. Any question? So if I ask you another question now, instead of adding values, instead of adding and replacing the value with a and b with a plus b minus 1, let me give you another question. In the same question, what I'm saying is, you have the same question. There's one person who's coming every time and he's doing some alteration. The first step he's doing a plus b plus 1. Second step he's doing a plus b minus 1. Third step he's doing a plus b plus 1. Fourth step he's doing a plus b minus 1. He went on continuing this for 39 times. And the question to you is, now if I change my operation, what do you think is the final value which will come in the end? What do you think is the final value which will come in the end? What do you think is the final value which will come in the end? Yes, I hope you got the question. The question has the same logic, but instead of doing a plus b minus 1, instead of doing a plus b minus 1 at every step, I repeat, instead of doing a plus b minus 1 at every step, you are doing alternative steps. First step, you are adding a plus b plus 1. Second step, you are adding a plus b minus 1. Next, a plus b plus 1, a plus b minus 1. Every alternate step is either plus 1 or minus 1. The question is, what is going to be the final value which is going to remain in the end? I got the answer from Venkatesh. I'm expecting answer from all of you. Everyone out here, can I get an answer? Bhushan is saying, so ideally we know that it's going to go till 39 times. Every consecutive step, step 1 and step 2, the nullification is going to happen. Plus 1 minus 1 will be nullified. Plus 1 minus 1 will be nullified. So till 38 steps, the deviation is going to be 0. It's going to be nothing but sum of first and natural numbers. At 39 step, what is happening? 39 step, it's a plus b plus 1 which is happening. I repeat, at the 39th step, it's a plus b plus 1 which is happening. So this time it's going to be 40 into 41 divided by 2 as what we did. But yes, you will add only 1 in the end. So the final value will become 821. which is logic given by Bhushan. All of you got to know this. Venkatesh, had it been a plus b minus 1 first and a plus b minus plus 1 second, the 39th value will be negative.
Yes, sir.
Everyone else. Everyone, all of you got to know the logic. All of you, is this clear? If there's any single difficulty or concern which you guys are facing, please let me know so that I can redo or I can improvise with the techniques that we are learning as of now. Any observation? Anything that you want to share? So, Ratnesh, it's the alternative steps. Plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1. So, third, fifth, seventh, 11th, 37, 39 will be plus 1. Every even number step will be number negative. That's what the question is. The framing of the question could be reversed also. First step minus 1, second step plus 1 could also happen. Can also happen. Clear? All right. This is the first question which you will see again on sigma of sigma and series. This is actual CAD 2014 question. But let me tell you, this is the same level of question. This is the same level of question which has come many a times. So there were two questions. Let me give you a perspective of how to CAT paper sort of makes questions. This is 2014 question where the question was find the 312 term of the series 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, like this, so on and so forth. In 2016, there was another question which said find the 288 term of the series, which is A, B, B, C, 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 D, 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 D. Going on. Both the questions. So I'm giving you a minute to think. I'm giving you a minute to think and comprehend what is the first question about. It's about, if you know what the question is about, the first question, very well you will be able to solve the second question also. Come on, take a minute. I want answers from all of you now. Come on. I'm expecting you guys to take a lead. You know what sigma of sigma n is. The only difference which is happening here, in the previous question, we saw the value of sigma n as the sum of values. You are adding a page number. Here, if you relate with the question, I repeat. Here, if you relate with the question, the sum value is just turning around with the sum value is just turning around with the term value. So instead of getting a sum, you're getting some term. Why and what, you have to figure out. Let me know if you have figured out. Let me know if you have figured out. Even if you have understood the question, we'll have a good discussion over it. Yes. Yes. Anyone? I got an answer from Prathamesh. Okay. Let me give you the hint for the first question. Next question I'm expecting all of you to take and solve. Now here, let's see this. Let me term the term values. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, sixth term, seventh, eighth, ninth, and tenth. Seventh, eighth, ninth, and tenth. Right? The only thing which I said was you will get the sum value of sigma n on the term value. You will get the sum value of sigma n on the term value. The first value is 1 and the first term of the natural number series is also 1. The third term is 2. Then you have got 2 and 2. The hint which I can give you is the third term is 2. What is the sum of first two natural numbers? Sum of first two natural numbers is 3. So the sum is becoming the term value. Can you see this? The sum is becoming the term value. The third term is 2. The sixth term is 3. Just say yes or no if you are able to get the logic. The sixth term is 3. 6 is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So sum of first three natural numbers is 6. So the sum value 6 is becoming the term value. The sixth value is 3. Can you see the logic? The 10th term is 4. The sum of first four natural numbers is becoming 10. The 10th term is becoming 4. Can you see the logic? What did I say before? Numbers like 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28. What are this? These are triangular numbers. These are sigma of sigma n series. These are sigma of sigma n series. The question is find the 312 term, which is basically nothing but sigma n. Out here, people out here, did you get the logic? Yes or no? And just say yes or no. If you have understood the logic, the pattern of solving the question is based on the same logic and lines what we have seen before. Kunal, Praneeth, everyone, Samyak. Perfect. Well, how did we solve the given question? What was the first step? The first step was double the value. What is double of 312? It is 624. What was the second step? Second step is find a value which is n square. Find the nearest perfect square. Find the nearest perfect square to 624. What is the nearest perfect square to 624? It is 625. The value of 625 is what? N will be 25. N will be 25. If the value of n is 25, I repeat, if the value of n is 25, if the value of n is 25, then sigma n will become 25 into 26 by 2. Right? 625. Can you help me out with the further logic? This is something which you have seen or solved before. First step, double the value. Next step, you find the nearest perfect square. Find the value of n. On n, you find sigma n. On sigma n, the only thing which will happen now is the sigma n will become the term value. The sigma n will become the term value. The sigma n will become the term value. I'll give you a minute to comprehend once again. I'll give you a minute to comprehend once again. Yes. What is the value of sigma n? Sigma n, what is the value of sigma n? 25. The sum of first 25 natural numbers will be equal to what? People out here, Samyak, Prathamesh. Is going to become how much? It's going to become 325. The value will become 325, which means the 325th value is going to be 25. I repeat, the 325th value will become 25. But the question is 312. Can you see here? The third value is 2 and preceded by 2 2s. The sixth value is 3 and is being preceded by 3 3s. The 10th value is 4 and is being preceded by 4 fours. Similarly, the 325th value is 25, which is going to be preceded by 25 25s, which means right from 301 till 325, there will be 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. And hence, 312 term is going to be between 301st and 325th term. And hence, by the same logic, the 312 term will also be 325. Is this clear? It's a simple logic. What was the logic? So that some value is becoming a term value. Third term, sixth term, 10th term, 312 term. 312 into 2 is becoming 624. The closest perfect square to 624 is 625. We got the value of n to be as 25. From n to be as 25, find the value of sigma n, which is 25 into 26 divided by 2. You got the value as 325. And the logic has been cracked. Prathamesh, yes. So, had it been the case, Prathamesh, let me say what is 288 term. If I ask you what is 288 term, on 325th term, you found 25. The logic says 325. The preceding 24 terms or preceding 25 terms will also be 25. So 301, so 325, all the values will be 25, 25, 25. The 300 term will be one less, which is 24. Preceded by the 24 24s. So from 276 till 300, there will be 24 24s. 288 is going to be between the given set of values. So 288 term will be 24. Is this clear? Everyone out here, is this clear? Okay. Now if I give you another question, let's say A, B, B, C, 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 D, 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 D. Instead of a numerical series, now you have an alphabetical series, which is carried around 16 questions. The question was the same, find the 288 term of the given series. What is going to be the 288 term of the given series? Tell me, it's a simple logic now. It's a simple question. Had it been a numerical series, the answer would have been how much? The answer would have been 24. Instead of asking the number 24, the answer which we are seeking is the 24th alphabetical number. The 24th alphabetical number would be X. What would have been 312 term? What would have been the 312 term? It's going to be as simple as 5. It's going to be as simple as 5. That's the logic which you have got. So all of you understood what is the significance of sigma n? What are triangular numbers, the usage of this, the kind of questions which may come up in the examination. Is this clear to all of you? The pattern keeps on changing. Sometimes you add, sometimes you don't add. Sometimes a numerical series, sometimes an alphabetical series. But the way of solving is still the same. The sum value of sigma n can become the term value of sigma n. Is this clear to all of you? Amazing. So let me give you a question which is a wonderful question which has come up back in the year 2013, again on the level of sigma n. So the question says a book has n pages. A book has n pages. A teacher asked her student to add all the pages starting from 1 to n and tell the result. And the question is, which of the following answers which given by the student can be right? Which of the following answers given by the students can be right? Now here, we do not know the page. I repeat, we do not know the number of page. We do not know the addition or duplication. The question is, which of the following can be the value? I repeat, the question is, which of the following can be the value of sigma n? Which of the value can be the value of sigma n? So it's an open question. I'll give you a minute to think and comprehend. Tell me, what is the question about? Take a minute to think. What do you think the answer would be? Anyone who got the logic? None of you got the logic? Out here, Prathamesh, Samyak, others. None of you got the logic? None? Say yes or no. Did you give it a shot? Did you try doing this question? Venkatesh, Priyanka, Shruti, Yash, Pragnya, Praneet. Should not it be even, sir? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, solve it along with me. So we have to find out the value of the term value of sigma n, or the sum value of sigma n can be which of these. I do not know the page number of pages, so we cannot do it. But let's say if the book has only one page, then the sum will be 1. If the book has 2 pages, the sum will be 3. If the book has, so quickly, you have to help me out quickly. If the book has 3 pages, what is the sum? If the book has 3 pages, what is the sum? Quickly. Quick response from all of you. The book has 3 pages, dude. It's going to be 6. The book has 4 pages. It's going to be 10. The book has 5 pages. It's going to be 15. The book has 6 pages. It's going to be 21. The book has 7 pages. It's going to be 28. The book has 8 pages. It's going to be 36. The book has 9 pages. It's going to be 45. The book has 10 pages. It's going to be 55. And what about the group has? The book has 11 pages. It is 1 plus 55, which is 11 plus 55, which is 66. If I just focus on the last digit, we know we work in the decimal system where you have got digits ranging from 0 to 9, they're 10 digits. The 12th page, the 13th page, the 14th page is the addition of 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, 9, 0 to the respective values of any of the value which has come in the first 10 pages, right? which gives you a clear hint. The sum value of sigma n, the term value of sigma n can end in 1, 3, 6, 0, 5, 1, 8, 6, 5. If I ask you, Praneeth, which value the sigma of sigma n will never end into? Sigma of sigma n will never end in which value? Sigma of sigma n will never end in which value? So you are saying it's never going to end in 2. It's never going to end in 4. Next, it's never going to end in 7. Next, any other value? Sigma n or sigma of sigma n will never end in which value? What cannot be the unit result of sigma n? Tell me. Any other value which you can come across? Any other value which you can come across? Any other value? Come on. It's 9. So this is a perfect answer, Saili. You can write down on a piece of page. You don't have to do this much of an exercise next time. That is not required. The logic is simple. The sigma of sigma n or sigma n will never end in 2, 4, 7, 9. It can only end in 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 0. As said, it will never end in 4, it will never end in 7, it will never end in 9. So the only possible answer is option C. The only possible answer is option C. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Got the logic? So if again the concepts are clear, you will not have to work around with working with small numbers or big numbers and checking the pattern. So 2, 4, 7, 9 are the values in which sigma n will never end into. If it can never end into it, very well you understood, the value would be only option which says it's going to end in 5. Okay, perfect. Let's see the next question type, which is number to numbers. Let's see that this is the most easiest format questions. These are the most easiest format based questions or template based question, I would say, which very well all of you can solve within in few seconds also. The logic says, if you read the question, A1 has been given to you. The first term of the series has been given to you as 1. The subsequent terms, there's a generic formula. There's a generic formula for the subsequent terms of the series, which is an plus 1 is equal to 2an plus 5, which means a2 can be written as 2a1 plus 5, which is 2 plus 5, 7. a3 will be 2a2 plus 5, which is 14 plus 5, 19. The question is going ahead with this logic, what is the value of a100? The question is going ahead with this logic, what is the value of a100? These are pattern-based questions. These are format-based questions. The only thing that you have to work around in this kind of a question is work around with the logic of finding the pattern between the question and the option. Find the pattern between the question and the option. The question is about finding the value of a100. The question is about finding, I repeat, the question is about finding the value. The question is about finding the value of a100. And the options which you can see here, all the values have 5, 2, and 6 common. 5, 2, and 6 common. 5, 2, 6. 5, 2, 6, 5, 2, 6 common. The only value of a100 which is coherent with the value which you can is visible to you is interrelated is the value of exponent. So ideally, I will reframe all the options. In accordance with the exponent relationship with the question. For a100, the exponent was 99. So it gives me a logic for A50, the exponent will be 49, A10, the exponent will be 9, A2 will be 1, and A1 will be logic, it will be 0. So I'm going to change the value of exponent. I'm going to change the value of exponent in accordance with the value which I'm finding. So if I have to find A2, I'll mark the exponent as 1. If I want A1, I'll mark the exponent as 0. All of you got this logic? So I'll rework on all the 5 options. The first option for A1 to be as 0 can be represented in this form: 2 into 5 into 2 raised to 0 minus 6. Second would be 5 into 2 raised to 0 plus 6. Next will be 6 into 2 raised to 0 plus 5. Next will be 6 into 2 raised to 0 minus 5. And next will be 6 into 2 raised to 0 minus 6. The value of A1 has been given to you as 1. The value of A1, I repeat, the value of A1 has been given to you as 1. The value of A1 has been given to you as 1, right? Just find out which value. Just find out which option gives you 1. Option number D gives you 1. This D will give you A1, A2, A3, A4 till A100. Even if you want to find A2, A2 will become 6 into 2 raised to 1 minus 5. 6 into 2 is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. So this is 2 plus 5, which is also 7. So this is also matching. All of you got the logic? How to solve or crack questions like this? All of you got the logic? If all of you have got the logic, please solve this question. This is again the same question. This is whole divided by 2. Whole divided by 2. Whole divided by 2. Whole divided by 2. It is again on the same pattern. So I'm assuming all of us will solve the question here well. Solve this logic quickly. Take a minute more and solve the question, please. All of you got this logic? This is again on the same lines, like what we have seen or done before. A1 has been given to you 1 and the question is about A50. The logic is changing the exponent. The logic is changing the exponent. I'm not even concerned with the value of A2, A3. I'll just probe the option with A1 to be as 1. For A1, all the options will change. This is 6 into 2 raised to 0 minus 5, the whole divided by 2. 7 into 3 raised to 0 plus 5 divided by 2. 7 into 3 raised to 0 minus 5 divided by 2. 6 into 2 raised to 0 minus 7 divided by 2. This is a negative value. 7 minus 5 is 2 by 2 is 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 by 2 is 6. This is 0, not equal to 1. And 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 by 2 is 0.5. So it's option C. So it is simply option C, which all of you have given the answer right. Is this clear? If this is clear, please solve the next question which I am giving you. It is root of 1 plus 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square till 1 by 2007 square plus 1 by 2008 square. Please solve this question again based on the same logic. Come on, I'll give you a minute to think. All of you people who are here live, can you all get the logic here? Can you all decode some logic? Yes, I got a couple of answers, waiting for others to probe. Come on, can I get an answer? Let's solve this. The only hint is, let's see the last number of the series is 2008. It's how much? It is 2008. And all the options are close to 2008. And all the options are actually close to 2008. Why this number is revolving around 2008? Because this is a CAT 2008 question. This is actual CAT 2008 question. Had it been 2000, had it been a 2020 or 21 question, the question can also go till 1 upon 2020 square. And on the basis of that, all the options can also change. So it's a generic format between the questions and the option, depending on the last digit or last number of the whole sum. If the number can end in 2020, it can also end in 2008, like in the given sum. If the number can end in 2008, it can also end in the last number too. The question can also be only till here, and this can also be neglected. But if we do that, as said, we would have to make some alteration. In the options. So let's consider 2008. Let's actually first figure out if 2008 is the last digit. So the generic form of the first value is last minus 1 by last, as 2008 is the last number. The second option will become second last minus 1 by second last, as 2007 will then be the second last number. The third option will become second last minus 1 by last, 2007 minus 1 by 2008. Next value will be last minus 1 by second last. 2008 minus 1 by 2007 is last minus 1 by second last. And the fifth option will be 2000 last will be last plus 1. So last minus 1 by last plus 1. Right? And this could be a very generic way of expressing all the values. Let's solve only the first part. For solving the first part, you do not need any theorem or formula. It's 1 upon 1 by 1 plus 1 by 4. I hope all of us can solve this. It is 2 plus 1 by 4, which is nothing but 9 upon 4. 9 upon 4 is 3 by 2, which is 1.5. The only thing that you need to do is, Prathamesh, Yash, everyone, is change all the options in accordance with the last number that you considered. The last number that you considered here was 2. So the first value will become 2 minus 1 by 2. Next value will become 1 minus 1 by 1. Next value will become second last 1 minus 1 by 1. 1 minus 1 by 2. Next will become 2 minus 1 by 1. And next will be 2 minus 1 by 3. And match the answers as what we have done till now. 1.5 you get where in the first option you get, second you don't get, next you don't get, nobody you get. So this will be the generic way of expressing all the expression of the given terms, be it till 2008 or be it 2020. So hence you will mark the first option. Is the logic clear to all of you? Is the logic clear to all of you who are live? Okay. Going ahead, let's see the next series of questions. The next series of questions are basically on the pattern called as difference of square. I repeat, the next series of questions is based on the pattern which is called as difference of square. The question is going to be of one of the following types. The question is going to be of one of the following types. The most standard question is, in how many ways can you express a natural number? In how many ways can you express a natural number as a difference of a perfect square? As a difference of a perfect square. Like, for example, how can you express 3 as a difference of 2 perfect square? A square minus b square, you can write 2 square minus 1 square, which is 4 minus 1 as 3, right? So the question could be, in how many ways can you rewrite? In how many ways can you rewrite 3 as the difference of 2 perfect square? Questions will be of the following type. The first question which you can see here, I repeat, the first question which you can see here on screen is, how many natural numbers are there? How many natural numbers, how many pairs of natural numbers are there which can be expressed as a difference of square, whose difference of square is 45? On the other way around, how can you generalize 45 in the form of a square minus b square? How can you rewrite? How can you rewrite 45? How can you rewrite 45 as a difference of 2 perfect square? I'll give you a minute to comprehend, to see what can be done and how it can be done, and then let's have a good discussion about it. Samyak, yes, so that's the most common logic that you can give. A square minus b square is nothing but a plus b into a minus b. The second logic which I can give you is, you can factorize the given number to find out the pair of the product and then figure out what is a and what is b. Go ahead with this logic and see if you can solve the given question. Yes, Samya, Shruti, Venkatesh, Prathamesh, Bhushan, everyone. Can you find any logic here? You can openly say yes or no. Okay, let's solve this question together. But if I solve this question for you, I am expecting you have to find the next pair of value. So we have to find out if, in how many ways. The question is in how many ways can you express 45 as the difference of two perfect squares? In a very simple generic way, it is a square minus b square is equal to 45. Right? We know, and then yeah, let's solve it together. Prathamesh, let's solve it together. A square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b, which is equal to 45. Which is equal to how much? Which is equal to how much? 45. So product of two values is 45. Repeat, the product of two values is 45. The next step could be, first let's see the generic way. You take out all the factors of 45. By taking out the factors of 45, you can express 45 in this form. Either it could be 1 into 45, or it could be 9 into 5, or it could be 15 into 3. There are three ways in which you can do it. There's no other way in which you can rewrite the given values. So possibly a plus b here, in the first way, it could be 45 into 1. Next is 9 into 5. Next is 15 into 3. Right? Now I have to solve a plus b is 45. A minus b is 1. Find out the value of a and b. The value of a would be a plus b. So 45 plus 1 is 46. 46 by 2 is 43. The value of b would be 45 minus 1, which is 44 by 2, which is 22. So the first value is for 23 square minus 22 square, which is 529 minus 484. All of you got the logic? Second way is 9 into 5. So the value of a will be 9 plus 5 by 2, which is 7. And the value of b will be 9 minus 5 by 2, which is 4 by 2, which is 2. 7 square minus 2 square. It's going to be 7 square minus 2 square. And the next value is 5 and 3. 5 and 3 are the value of a plus b and a minus b. I want a and b individually. So the value of a will be 5 plus 3, 18 by 2, which is 9. And a minus b will be 5, 15 minus 3, 12 by 2, which is 6. 81 minus 36 will give you also 45. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, all of you? Is this clear? First of all, tell me, is this clear? I'll give you a shorter way of solving the question. I'll give you a shorter way. First, tell me, have you understood this or no? Okay. So, Prathamesh, we actually found out all the terms also. If you understand, the final climax that we found out was finding the value of a and b, whose on square will give you the difference as 45. But this much is not required, because the question is not about finding the pair. The question is how many pair? 1, 2, or 3. So let me rewrite the question and then let me give you a shorter way of solving. Basically, it was a square minus b square is equal to 45. Basically, it was a square minus b square is equal to 45. And we rewrote a plus b and a minus b as the general expression to be equal to 45. So it is the product of two values. It is the product of two values is 45. We found the factors of 45 as 9 into 5, 15 into 3, and 45 into 1. These are the only three ways. There's no fourth way. There are only three ways. And these are the respective value of a plus b and a minus b. The larger value will be a plus b and the smaller value will be a minus b. Now you have got a plus b as 45, a minus b as 1. You want a and b. How do you solve? You cut the value of plus b minus b. 2a is 46. So while for the value of a, all what I'm saying is you add the value 46 and divide by 2, which is 23. For getting the value, subtract the value. 45 minus 1 is 22. Sorry, it's 44 by 2, which is 22. Got the logic, Prathamesh? So the value of a is 23. The value of b is 22 square. Similarly, A plus B is 9. A minus B is 5. The value of A will be 14 by 2. Sum the value and divide by 2. Sum the value. So it is 7 square and the difference will be B. 9 minus 5 is 4. It's 4 square. It's 2 square, my bad. So 49 minus 4 will also give me 45. Is this clear to all of you? Everyone out here, Samya, Prathamesh, Bhushan, everyone out here in the class, is this clear to all of you? Tell me yes or no so that I can give you a shortest logic to solve the question. Okay. Now, actually we found the value of A and B, which is not required because the question is about how many pairs. The answer is 1, 2, and 3. The question was not about finding A and B. The question was only about how many A and B's are possible. So let's actually see the quickest way in which you can solve. So you are doing A plus B into A minus B is 45. You are saying product of two values is 45. The product of two values is 45, right? If I see the logic, the value of A and B could be anything. It could be even or odd. It could be either even or odd. It could be either even or odd. Let's assume A and B. Let's assume A and B both to be even. If both are even, A plus B would also be even and A minus B would also be even. So the first combination is even into even. The combination is of A plus B and A minus B. All of you got the logic? All of you got the logic? Second is, let's assume A and B. I'm assuming A and B to be odd. So odd plus odd will be even and odd minus odd will be even. So even and even should be equal to 45. The third combination is one is even, one is odd. Even, one is odd. Tell me what is even plus odd and what is even minus odd. What is even plus odd and what is even minus odd? Both of them will be odd. Both of them will be odd, right? So the only logic which should click in your mind is, so there are only two ways in which you can write A plus B and A minus B. The given number n should be either even into even or odd into odd. All of you got the logic? There are only two combinations possible. Either it could be even even or it could be odd odd. All of you got this? There's no combination of odd into even or even into odd. There's no combination like this. So ideally, the final answer of A plus B into A minus B is equal to 45 is, in how many ways can you write 45 as even into even or odd into odd? Even into even cannot be expressed as 45. The answer is 45. Rewrite or take out all the factors. 9 into 5, 15 into 3 and 45 into 1 are the only three ways in which you can rewrite the given factors of 45. And all of them are odd, 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 odd. Don't try and test. Don't take 9 square minus 5 square. Don't do that. That is not required. You've got this to be as 3 pairs and the answer is going to be 3. So all what I'm saying is, whenever the final climax, it's a matter of few seconds in which you can rewrite the answer. I repeat, it's a matter of few seconds in which you can get the answer. It is simple. In how many ways can you write a number as the difference of two perfect square? It's as simple as in how many ways can you write the same number n, 45 or whatever has been given to you as even into even or odd into even. The number of pairs you get, that many solutions you will get. Is this clear? Unlike the previous steps, we actually found out the value of A and B. That was not required. In 2 steps, you can write down. Is this clear? In just 2 steps, you can write down the value. Is this clear? So if I give you this question, solve this question. Instead of 45, the number is 5 and 2. Instead of 45, in how many ways can you rewrite 5 and 2 as a difference of 2 perfect square. Come on. Now you can solve it quickly. Five and 2. 5 and 2 is what? 5 and 2 is an even value. So you will not get a pair of odd into odd. The only thing that you have to look into is how many even pairs you get. For 5 and 2, how many even pairs? It's a very simple way of solving. It's either even into even or odd into odd. The question to you is how many even pairs are possible? Quickly, can you help me out with the answer? How many even pairs are possible for 5 and 2? No odd, no odd even. Only even. Only even. So you will not do anything. You will just write the value as 5 and 2 as 2 into 256. Right? And then make the value as 4, 6. I'm going on. How many other values are possible like this? Answers from all of you. Come on. Answers from all of you. It's a simple logic, guys. I don't know why you're taking so much time. So you're doubling the value of 2 to be as 4. So this will be 128. Next time you double the value of 8, this will become 64. Right? Next time you make it 16 and you make this value as 32. Next time you make it 8. Next time you make it 64. Next time you make it 4, and next time you further double the value. Further, my bad, we are increasing the value, right? 16, this time is going to be 32. 32 and 16. Next time is going to be 64, and this is going to be 8. Going on, you will find there's a repeated patterns after a certain stage. There's a repeated pattern after a certain stage. 64 and 8 you already got. 64 and 8 you already got. So how many numbers? Quickly, how many pair of values? How many pairs of values? Tell me. Two 56 is already taken out. 120 is already taken out. 64, 8 is already taken out. 32, 16 is already taken out. So we basically have only four values, right? We basically have only 4 values in which you can rewrite 5 and 2. Is this clear to all of you? All of you got the answer, right? So it is never going to be 4 into 2, 8. Because 2 into 256 is as same as 256 and 2 as a common pair. Had it been the case of an ordered pair, then we would have considered it twice. If they're not asking about the ordered pair, you will consider it to be only once. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Everyone? Okay. Then solve the next question. This is CAT 2015 question. This is CAT 2015 question. So the pattern keeps on changing. You don't have to get bogged down. You don't have to worry about when you see a new pattern question. Check it out. Take a minute and solve this question. So you will not solve it quadratic. You don't make a quadratic expression. If you take n square on the left side, it is as same as m square minus n square is equal to 1614, which is as same as, in how many ways can you rewrite 1614 as a difference of two perfect square? We discussed just now, it is going to be either even into even or odd into odd. Odd into odd is always odd. 1614 is even. The only question is how many even solutions are possible for 1614. How many even solutions are possible for 1614? Come on, I've already given you a hint. 1614. 1614 as the difference of a perfect square is as same as, and how many ways can you rewrite 1614 as 1614 as the product of two even numbers? What is the final answer? 1614. You want even into even. If the first number is 2, the next number would be 807. The next number itself will be 807, right? And if you make it 4, 6, 4, 6, whatever you make it as, you will get a pair of even into odd. In a very simple way, within some 1 or 2 seconds, we'll mark the answers. None of these, the answer is 0. Is this clear? Is this clear? 1614. Why do you have to worry about when you see a question like this? It's all simple questions. They're all silly questions. Your individual caliber is way much more above. Your individual caliber is way much more above than the required caliber of clearing the paper. They're all easy, silly questions. Provided you know the logic, don't conventionally solve. A plus B into A minus B is equal to 1614. Product of two values. So take out all the factors of 16. That is not required. If you know the logic, it's only even into even or odd into odd, which will give you the pair or the factor. Then 16, you will check the value is even or odd. If it is even, then the only way of solving is even into even. If it is odd, then the only combination is we will never consider. Yes, Prathamesh, as said, because that will never happen. No, it's a product of A plus B and A minus B. Prathamesh, listen to me. It's a product of A plus B and A minus B. If A and B are odd and even, listen to me very clearly. If A and B are odd even, then odd plus even is odd, and odd minus even is also odd. Still, you will get odd into odd or even into even. There are only two cases possible. So A plus B and A minus B always will be. You take any value. You will take any value in the universe. A plus B and A minus B is either even into even or odd into odd. However, A and B could be anything. That means A and B could be even, odd even, even, or odd. It could be anything. But A plus B and A minus B would be either even, or odd. If the result is even, it's even, even. If the result is odd, it's odd. So 1614 is even. It should be only even, even. If you just take the first pair, you will get odd and even. So you will get to know there's no other pair possible. So on a very simplistic manner, you will be able to solve the questions very well. Provided we have a very good appetite, we are conceptually strong, we are not dependent on shortcuts because our fundamentals are strong, very well we'll be able to solve the questions easily. Is this clear? Everyone, is this clear? If it is clear, we'll see the next pattern. Okay, let's see the next pattern now. The next pattern is division of series. The next pattern is division of series. One of the pattern is successive division. One of the pattern is successive division, and there are so many patterns which are possible. So in the form of an equation, I have categorized the kind of division of series questions which are ever possible on number system. We'll see all the important types. First, let's categorize the values or categorize the series and see how to solve. Then we'll be able to see the questions very well. The first category of question is, the first category of series is 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1. 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1. So it's like when you divide any number. So it is n. A particular number can be represented in this form. 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1. Basically, if you equate this, you will say 7a is equal to 8b. If you equate this, you will say 7a is equal to 8b. And 7a is equal to 8b is nothing but the LCM of 7 and 8. 7a and 8b is nothing but LCM of 7 and 8. Right? But ideally, the question says, a given number when divided by 7 gives you a remainder of 1. Same number when divided by 8 gives you a remainder of 1. So the given expression is 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1. Clear? Can I say the first type is the case where the remainder is constant? Can I say, all of you have to answer, can I say the first type is the case where the remainder is constant? Can I say the first type is the case where the remainder is constant? So the first type is the case. So let me rewrite. The first type where the remainder is constant. So how to solve the given question? Take the LCM of divisors a and b and add the remainder. This is the very standard way of solving the question. If you have to find the series of all the numbers which is going to fit into the range 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1, all the series, what do? Take the LCM of the given value 7 and 8 and add the remainder which is 1. What is the LCM of 7 and 8? Which is 56. So the series is 56k plus 1. Got to know? It is 56k plus 1. The first number will be 56k. K to be as 1. 56 plus 1 is 57. 57 if you divide by 7 will give you the remainder of 1. 57 when you divide by 8 you will get the remainder of 1. Is this clear? The next number will be 56k plus 1 plus 56. The next number will be plus 56 plus 56 plus 56. Is this clear? Is this clear? Whenever the remainder is constant, how to solve? How would you solve if the remainder is constant? Take the LCM of values and add the remainder. Very easily. Take the LCM of value, add the remainder. Next value. Next series. 7a plus 2 is equal to 8b plus 3. 7a plus 2 is equal to 8b plus 3. How would you solve this? How would you solve this? Now if you check here, the difference of divisor and the remainder is constant. 7 minus 5 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5 and 8 minus 3 is 5. Can I say series type 2 is where the difference is constant? Can I say type 2 is where the difference is constant? The difference between the values is constant. Can you see this? 7 minus 2 and 8 minus 3 is 5. Can you see this? Yes or no? All of you who are live. All of you who are live, can you all see this? You can't see this, right? Perfect. How to solve this series? This series is again the LCM of A and B minus the difference between the values. You will take the LCM of the values minus the difference of the value. LCM of 7 and 8 is 56. So this is going to be 56k. The difference is 5. So the series is 56k minus 5. It is 56k minus 5. It is 56k minus 5. It is 56k minus 5. The next series, so the first value is 56 minus 5, it is 51. 51 को 7 से डिवाइड करोगे तो रिमाइंडर मिलेगा 2. 49 plus 2. 51 को 81 से डिवाइड करोगे तो रिमाइंडर मिलेगा 3. समझ में आया? समझ में आया सबको? and the next number will be plus 56, plus 56, plus 56. 50 is fun, plus 56, plus 56, plus 56. Like so this, the series will go. समझ में आया सबको? So type 1 और type 2 आपको समझ में आ गया, right? टाइप 1 और टाइप 2 आपको समझ में आ गया. टाइप 3 अगर आप देखोगे तो इसमें कुछ कॉमन नहीं है, ना ही यहाँ पे रिमाइंडर कॉमन है, ना ही यहाँ पे डिफरेंस कांस्टेंट है, यहाँ पे कुछ भी कॉमन नहीं है. So it is the unequal type. So this is the unusual type, type 3, where nothing is common. Where nothing is common. 9a has been given to you is 11b plus 7. इसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? 9b is equal to 11b plus 7. आप पूछा जाए, let's say the question is 9a is equal to 11b plus 7. How many such numbers where a and b is less than 1000? How many such numbers are possible where a and b is less than 1000? ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ जाए आपको, और क्वेश्चन है पूरी सीरीज बताओ. So let's solve the third type manually. Let's solve the third type manually. इसका भी एक पैटर्न है, उसको देखते हैं कैसे सॉल्व करोगे आप. ओके, पहले यहाँ पे दो चीजें, या तो आपको a और b की वैल्यू पूछी जाएगी, या तो आपको सीरीज के टर्म्स पूछे जाएंगे. या तो आपको a और b की वैल्यू पूछी जाएगी, या तो आपको सीरीज के टर्म्स पूछे जाएंगे. ओके, अच्छा मेरे को बताओ पहला वैल्यू क्या आएगा जहाँ पे 9 is equal to 11b plus 7. ये पहली वैल्यू जो ट्रायल एंड एरर से आएगी. यू कैन स्टार्ट सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग द वैल्यूज लाइक 1 2 3 4. आपको कहीं ना कहीं एक कॉमन लॉजिक दिख जाएगा. 9a is equal to 11b plus 7 कहाँ पे आएगा? द वैल्यू ऑफ a एंड b क्या होगी पहली, जहाँ पे यू गेट अ कॉमन कांस्टेंट वैल्यू. बताओ. Can I say when 2 is equal, a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 1, a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 1, you will get the value as 18. Perfect. It's 9 into 2 and 11 into 1 plus 7. क्या मिला? 2 and 1. क्या मिला? 2 and 1. अच्छा, अब मैं ये तो पहला मिल गया, राइट? अब पहले के बाद सेकंड, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ ऐसे अनगिनत वैल्यूज हैं. इन सबको मैन्युअली नहीं करेंगे, इसको हम एल्गोरिथम, इसका एल्गोरिथम या ऑटोमेशन कर सकते हैं. कैसे करेंगे? ध्यान से सुनना. अब मुझे नेक्स्ट वैल्यू चाहिए. अब मुझे नेक्स्ट वैल्यू चाहिए. 18 के बाद नेक्स्ट वैल्यू क्या आएगी? 18 के बाद नेक्स्ट वैल्यू क्या आएगी? Take the LCM of the given coefficient of a and b. The series is 18 plus 99k. The series is 18 plus 99k. 99 कैसे आया? 9 और 11 का LCM. समझ में आया? समझ में आया सबको? Yes or no? ये सीरीज मिल गई मुझे, सिंपल है. 18 plus 99 into 1, 18 plus 99 into 2, 18 plus 99 into n. ये मिल गया सीरीज. अब यहाँ से मैं रिस्पेक्टिव a और b की वैल्यू निकाल सकता हूँ. यहाँ से मैं रिस्पेक्टिव a और b की वैल्यू निकाल सकता हूँ, या तो मैं उल्टा जा सकता हूँ. अब मुझे चाहिए नेक्स्ट वैल्यू क्या आएगी? नेक्स्ट वैल्यू आएगी 107. इट इज 99 प्लस 18, राइट? अब ध्यान से सुनना. द कोफिशिएंट ऑफ b is 11, द कोफिशिएंट ऑफ a is 9. ये दिख रहा है. कोफिशिएंट ऑफ b is 11, द कोफिशिएंट ऑफ a is 11. बट अगर मुझे नेक्स्ट पैटर्न चाहिए, एक तो मिल गया मेरे को 2,1. अगला नंबर क्या मिलेगा? The value of a will go ahead. The value of a will go ahead with the coefficient of b. The value of b will go ahead with the coefficient of a. a का जो कोफिशिएंट है वो है 9 और b का जो कोफिशिएंट है वो कितना है? 11. सो अगला जो टर्म बनेगा उसमें a की वैल्यू हो जाएगी 2 प्लस 11 13. अगली जो वैल्यू बनेगी b की वो हो जाएगी 1 प्लस 9 which is 10. So 13 and 10 will be the next value. समझ में आया? Next value 13 plus 11. Again, A will go ahead with the coefficient of B. 13 plus 11 will become 24 and 10 plus 9 will become 19. समझ में आया सबको? ऐसे भी निकाल सकते हैं, या तो सीरीज निकाल दो, सीरीज से कोफिशिएंट निकाल दो A और B का, या तो A और B पहला वैल्यू कैसे मिला? ट्रायल एंड एरर से मिला. पहला वैल्यू A और B का ट्रायल एंड एरर से मिला. उसके बाद A will go ahead with the coefficient of B, B will go ahead with the coefficient of A. समझ में आया सबको? समझ में आया सबको? Clear? So these are the three types, and the fourth type is successive division. इसका ये एक ऐसा नंबर है कि the question would be a given number has been successively divided by A, B and C. तो उसका पैटर्न अलग से देखेंगे. ये तीन टाइप है. Type 1, the remainder is constant. Type 2, the difference is constant. Type 3, unusual type. A goes ahead with the coefficient of B, B goes ahead with the coefficient of A. Like this. अब मैं आपको क्वेश्चन दूंगा, आप इसको सॉल्व करोगे. चलो मुझे बताओ the question which you can see. This is type 1, type 2 or type 3? Type 1. Okay, this is type 1, type 2 or type 3? This is type 1, where the remainders are constant. How would you solve where the remainders are constant? How would you solve the question? How would you solve the question where the remainders are constant? As said, you take the LCM of the value 4, 6 and 7 and remove the difference. Simple. The remainder leaves a remainder of 2, right? So what is the remainder? What is the LCM of 4, 6 and 7? 4, 6 and 7. The remainder, the LCM would be what? 84. So the value is 84k plus 2. The first value would be 86. समझ में आया? समझ में आया सबको? Easy step, no? You take the LCM and you add the remainder. Take the LCM and you add the remainder. As simple as that. It's easy. All of us can solve this. Next. This is type 1, type 2 or type 3? बताओ. Type 1, type 2 or type 3? Type 1, type 2, type 3. This is type 2. Acha, this is acha, my bad. I give you the question on successive, no? My bad, my bad. This is successive. चलो अगर ये निकाल ही लिया तो ये करते हैं अभी. नहीं, no, this is not type 2. This is successive division. और तुम type 2 के साथ भी कर सकते हो उसको. Type 2 के साथ भी कर सकते हो उसको कि नहीं कर सकते हो. The difference between the values. The difference between the values is constant. If the difference between the values is constant, तो क्या करेंगे? LCM लेंगे 3, 4 और 7 का. क्या लेंगे? 3, 4 और 7 का LCM लेंगे. 3, 4 will give you 12. 12, 7 is 84. 84 minus the difference is how much? The difference is 3. The difference is 7 minus 4, 4 minus 1 and 3 minus 2. No. 4 minus 1, 3 minus 2. That's my bad. No. I made a mistake. This is not type 2, this is successive division. Let me first give you a question which you will find. Okay. See this question. This is type 1, type 2 or type 3? A is a set of values which when divided by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves a remainder of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Type 1, type 2 or type 3? Type 1, type 2 or type 3? This is type 2. How to solve type 2? It's silly. Type 2 is LCM of all the value. LCM of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus the difference. Difference is 1. क्या होगा आंसर? 2, 4 का 4, 4, 6 का 12, 12 और 3 का 12, 12, 5 का 60. So it's 60k minus 1. 60k minus 1. So the value कौन सी है? 59. And then 59 plus 60, which is 119 like this. All of you got to know this? समझ में आया सबको? और तुमको पूछा है 0 से 100 के बीच में ऐसी कितनी वैल्यूज हैं? तो पहली वैल्यू 59, अगली वैल्यू 100 के पास. So you will mark the answer as 1. You will mark the answer as 1. Is this clear? You will mark the answer as simply 1. So if you know the pattern, तुमको पता है कैसे डिकोड किया हुआ है, उसके आगे सिंपल अप्रोचेस हैं. उसके आगे सिंपल अप्रोचेस हैं. उसके आगे सिंपल अप्रोचेस हैं. Is this clear to all of you? समझ में आया सबको? Perfect. This is type 3. अब type 3 क्या है तुम्हारे पास? Type 3 successive division. Successive division का एक छोटा सा शॉर्टकट देता हूँ, जल्दी कर लोगे तुम. क्वेश्चन पढ़ोगे तो बोलता है after the division of a success, after the division of a number successfully by 3, 4 and 7. After you divide a number by 3, 4 and 7, the remainders obtained is 2, 1 and 4. So 3, 4 and 7 को डिवाइड करने के बाद रिमाइंडर्स मिला है 2, 1 and 4. और पूछा है पहली बात तो तुम इस नंबर को निकालो, और इस नंबर को अगर तुमने 16 से डिवाइड किया तो नया रिमाइंडर क्या मिलेगा ये पता करना है, राइट? I'll give you the most simplest and the shortest logic in which you can solve. Take the last remainder, multiply with the previous divisor. Take the last, इन सारे नंबर्स को नीचे नीचे लिखो. 3 के नीचे 2, 4 के नीचे 1 and 7 के नीचे 4. Now take the last remainder, multiply with the previous divisor. 4 4 is 16. 16 plus 1, add the next remainder. 16 plus 1 is 17. Now multiply with the previous remainder and add the next remainder. So 4 into 4 16, 16 plus 1 17, 17 into 3 51, 51 plus 2 is 53. आ गया आंसर. The answer is 53. And the question is 53 को 16 से डिवाइड करोगे तो रिमाइंडर कितना आएगा? 16 3 is 48 और रिमाइंडर बना 5, so you will mark 5 as the answer. समझ में आया सबको? Within like 2-3 steps you will get the answer. Take the last remainder. Take the last remainder, multiply with the previous last remainder, multiply with the previous divisor, add the next remainder, multiply with the previous divisor, add the next remainder. 3 स्टेप में क्रॉस 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 क्रिस क्रॉस करोगे तो अपने आप आ जाएगा. मल्टीप्लाई ऐड you will get the value. Value is 53 के. समझ में आया सबको? All of you who are live understood, yes or no? Everyone has understood, right? Again, a question on successive division. 3, 4 and 5 को divide किया तो 1, 2 and 3 आया. What happens if 60 divides the same number? Can you help me out with the answer? Can you all help me out with the answer? What is the answer? 3 into 4, 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 3 is 42. 42 plus 1 is 43. आ गया. अगर multiply add करोगे तो value will become 43. The question is 43 को 60 से divide करोगे तो remainder कितना मिलेगा? The question is 43 को 60 से divide करोगे तो remainder कितना मिलेगा? अब 43 को 60 से divide करोगे तो remainder 43 ही मिलेगा ना? धनश्री, श्रुति, प्रणीत, प्रथमेश, वेंकटेश, यश, प्रज्ञा, साम्या, भूषण, others. 43 को 60 से डिवाइड करोगे तो 43 मिलेगा. So the answer will be 43. So अगर तुमको पैटर्न्स पता है तो बहुत आराम से तुम क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व कर पाओगे. I repeat, पैटर्न्स पता है तो बहुत आराम से तुम क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व कर पाओगे. Is this clear? All right then. We have a meta exams next week onwards on from 28th. I'll speak to Vinod sir on this, what can be done and how it can be resumed. Um Managing your exams as well as your preparation. Don't worry, we'll give you a solution. Okay, I'll get back to you on this. On this note, I'll take a leave for today's session. I'll see you next time. You can see the recording and practice some sessions before you come next time and see. Thank you so much, all of you. It's my pleasure to teach you. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Thank you.